This is Steve Schiffman, and I want to thank you for joining me again on this podcast webcast that we do. We try to 4 days a week for you. It's really to help you sell better, or if you're a manager, to manage better. Do me a favor, though, and I really would appreciate it. Pass this along to somebody else. Pass it along to somebody else who you think might benefit from hearing some ideas about sales that maybe they kind of lost a little bit. Maybe they're kind of going through that maze of where do I go next? What do I do? Maybe they're not even sure they should be in sales, but pass it along to them. You know, I try to do a direct 10 minutes each time. I don't try to go 15, 20, 45 minutes. I don't do that nonsense. And I also don't have 55 people on with me to tell you about their success so you feel like you're a failure. I don't want you to fail. I want you to be successful. I was thinking the other day, and this is going to sound so weird to you. I was thinking the other day, when was the last time you, not me, you read poetry? When was the last time you picked up a book on poetry? Now, I'm not talking about when you were in college or high school. I'm talking about now, recently. You know, the line about going the path unwalked before comes out of Walt Whitman. There are so many great poems out there that are inspirational that if you're not looking at different things, you're becoming just flat as a human being. Yes, you're right. I'm saying to you, you should read some poetry. Go to Barnes & Noble, go to Books A Million, go any place you need to go and go find a book that you like on poetry. Look at poetry, poems. They don't have to be big poems. They don't have to be long for the Iliad. They don't have to do that. But read something different. Find something different that will give you a spirit, will give you confidence in what you're doing. See, the problem is most of us do the same thing all the time. Habits control our day-to-day existence. In fact, without habits, we go nuts. Habits are the key to our sanity. So you do the same thing every single day. And I got it. I know you do that. But maybe you should just change it up a little bit. I know poetry seems like what a ridiculous thing. But I've said some pretty ridiculous things to you before. You remember the time I said, get a flashlight? You remember the time I said, use a magnifying glass? Well, those are kind of ridiculous things. But poetry might just give you that little bit of inspiration that you need from somebody else and a different perspective. I know you're saying stuff, oh, come on, give me a break, Schiffman. Yes, I am saying that to you. I'm saying to do it. You don't have to buy the biggest book. Buy Walt Whitman, I don't care. Buy Robert Frost. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. But read something for pleasure, not because you had to do it in school. For example, you probably read in school Shakespeare. I know you did. I remember reading it and thinking, oh, I don't understand this. I don't want to understand this. And then one day, I took my daughter to Shakespeare. And we both sat there. And she was young then. And we fell in love with the play. All of a sudden, it came together. It made sense to me, and it made sense to her. But she didn't know it didn't make sense. And we loved it ever since. Well, that's the same thing for you. Now, I've written 70 books, and you can go get those books. But honestly, find something different. Do something different. Be somebody different than who you are now. You don't have to be the same person every single day. You can change. You can change anything you want to change. I just don't think we're afraid to do it. After all, suppose it doesn't work. That's what people tell me. Well, you know, I could make cold calls, but it might not work. Yeah, you're right. It might not work. I could do a mailing. That might not work. Yeah, you're right. I could do email blasts, and that might not work. You can do anything that might not work. But you know what? If you don't try, it won't work. So that's for today. That's it. We're done. 10 minutes. I told you, we'll only go 10 minutes, no matter what. I want you to try something. Go do it. Go buy a book. Go to a library if you don't want to buy it. Get a book on poetry. Read it. And also, interesting, read what the author said in the beginning, the preface, or the editor said in the preface of the book. Because that gives you some insight into their thinking. Please, just try it. Remember, if you're interested in getting a free book from me, all you got to do is write on an email, rubber stamp. That's all you got to do. Rubber stamp. I'll get the email. You got a chance of winning a book. If you need some help, you can call me. www.steveschiffman.com gets you right here. I'm glad to help you. I've got programs for you. And if you're interested in training for your company, don't hesitate to contact us. You know, we still travel. I've been in 43 different countries with 9,000 companies, 500,000 representatives. And I want to work with you. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to see you be successful. So let me know how it goes, okay? Try poetry. You may find that's the one thing you've never thought about, okay? Steve Schiffman, thank you very much for joining me. And as always, you humble me by your attendance.